Want to congratulate Coach Mills and the Wichita State team. They were better than us tonight, especially in the second half. Thought their staff did a great job of putting a game plan together of how they wanted to attack us, and they really exploited that in the second half. And I thought, the guys were just a little bit more connected. The crowd was unbelievable, and so that was, they really gave him some juice. And so Mills gets to have a Merry Christmas this year, and I get to have a Christmas. So.
Go to questions now.
What was it they did to be so effective getting to the basket, even the guards? And
Yeah, they knew exactly who they wanted to attack, and so they set a screen to get the switch they wanted, and then just like put their heads down and went to the goal. And they had a lot of shots at the rim. They're one of the fastest teams in the country, and one of our big things was that we had to keep them out of transition, right? And they had 16 points off of our turnovers and 16 fast break points, and that's their strength, and you can't let a team play to their strength.
Tonight, and against St. John's, you guys had a 4-point lead at halftime, ended up losing by close to 20. Not just why does that happen, but how does that happen to a team multiple times like this?
The other coaches did a better job of making adjustments at halftime than our staff did.
Why has that happened twice now in the last
Because it's been 2 games.
Jerome, given the success they did have scoring against you in the paint, did you put much thought into using the bigger lineup at times?
Well, it wasn't just they were scoring in the paint. We couldn't score on the other end, so playing a smaller group, I thought, got us. Like Ballard was don't look at his stat line. He impacted the game. We could not get to the rim and score easily. They took us out of our ball screen offense because of the drop and how he was guarding and protecting the paint. And so then you had to go to some different actions, which led us into having a lot of mid-range type shots, which is not necessarily what we want to take. So I don't know that going bigger. We still had to score. Their defense was also really good. 35% in the second half, 25 from 3, 36 from the free throw line. You just. So it was. You gotta have. We was trying to play a little smaller. Maybe we could get some more space and pull them out. Buddy did a good job tonight and hit some shots, and that helped us in the first half. In the second half, we didn't.
Buddy hadn't played in a few games. What went behind that decision to get him back on the court?
Well, this is a better matchup for him, and he had 2 really good practices. And so it's we are organized. Underneath my shirt, I have a T-shirt that says consistency, and that's what we haven't been able to get, whether at practice or in games. And Buddy goes for 20 tonight. But then we have other guys who don't play up to what we expect from them. So as a coach, it's hard to figure out what to do if you don't know what you're going to get from each guy every night. And so what we have to figure out here is how can we get the same production from each guy every night rather than guessing.
You ended the first half on a 15-4 run. Was there any thought of starting that 5 to begin the second half as opposed to going back to the guys that started the game?
Who was on the floor at the end of the second half?
I think it was Moby, Coleman, Buddy, CJ, and David Castillo.
Yeah, the only difference would have been David Gasson, who's our leading scorer, leading rebounder, and Moby. There really wasn't. We were going to play 8 or 9 guys tonight and get them good minutes, and the 8-0 run in the half was really good, and we felt like we had momentum coming out. We had a game plan coming out, and that's I usually don't switch, starting lineup unless there's a major foul trouble in the second half.
How tough is it when you have 3 losses spaced out by so much time in between to kind of keep the positivity going, keep the frustration out of the locker room, and then keep guys staying focused?
Yeah, there's the frustration in the locker room is hurt over losing, not about anything else, right? And it doesn't matter if the games happen in a span of 3 days, a span of 6 days, a span of 20 days. Like, nobody wants to lose 3 games in a row. So, you know, it's just we got to keep working, and we will, because they have a high care factor in the locker room.
Coach, when you have a tough rivalry game like this in an away crowd, in an away arena that's just loud, does it in some sort of way kind of prepare you for heading into conference play?
Yeah, well, you know, St. John's crowd was really good too, and I thought we learned something from St. John's when they made a run in the second half. You know, when they took the lead, you know, our guys slowed down, and we was able to come down and trade buckets a couple times. So we didn't let them get to it right away. We just have to. So it does help you, and allows you to grow. And like I said, the fans were great tonight. I was thankful for all our K-State fans that showed up also.
And then, what are your thoughts on maybe continuing the series in the future?
Yeah, so Mills and I are now 3-3. We were 2-2 in high school and 1-1 here in college. And this game, like, it's kind of like the Big East Challenge. It doesn't do anything for us, right? And especially with more conference games going on, so we're playing 20 conference games. The fact that, you know, you can play some games for NIL, you know, to help your players and help you with recruiting in that aspect. There's just so much more that goes into it. I know it's important our fans enjoy it and their fans enjoy it and stuff, but if it's not gonna help us improve as a program and put us in a better position, I don't know that it's something that I necessarily want to do.
Outside of consistency, what's the biggest thing that you guys need to correct heading into conference play?
I would say consistency. Like I can't, like if we get the 8 or 9 guys that are playing at the level that they're capable of playing together, then every night. And it doesn't matter if you're a 6-point, 3 rebound guy, you know, every night, just give me that every night. If you're a 12-point, you know, 8 rebound guy, just give me that every night. It's what's hard is when you're a 2-point guy one night and a 20-point guy the next night. I don't know which guy I'm getting, you know, and so that's we have to build that consistency.
Coach, you guys go to conference play, you know, looking back at this non-conference, you know, what do you want your guys to take away from this? You know, short-term memory loss and forget the losses, you know, learn from them as you go into conference play.
Yeah, it was 0-0 now in the conference, best conference in America, and we got Cincinnati, who I think is highly underrated as a team, coming to the house, right? And so we get to play in Bram for the first time in a month, I think. It's been a while, right, Tom? Yeah, you know, so I'm excited about that. And although our students are out for school, I know that our fans are going to show up, and so and we need them.
What's the expectation over the next couple months now? Non-conference, go 6-5, and now the schedule's about to ramp up. How do you see things playing out from your point of view?
I see our guys going home for Christmas and coming back, and we're gonna have a great practice on the 26th or 27th. I think I get my days mixed up. That's as far as I'm thinking about right now. We gotta get better. We gotta go 1-0 in every aspect of it, and they gotta get to the hotel tonight. They gotta catch their flights in the morning. We gotta go 1-0. We keep learning how to go 1-0. It'll play out the way it's supposed to.
Were there ever any seasons at Baylor where things didn't go the way you wanted early and you were able to flip the switch for conference play and get it right?
Yeah, it was several times. Heck, in conference, we started 2-8 one year in conference, and ended up going to the Sweet 16 that year. Won like 8 of our last 9 games, and so it can change at any time. And in this conference, like, you have lots of opportunities to stack really good wins, and so that's just like, you just have to keep going. Like, we're built for this, all right? Like, I got a staff that's built for adversity and built for, you know, struggles, and, you know, that's just we signed up for this, and so we're not deterred by, and maybe that's not the right word, but it doesn't faze us, you know, that there's going to be a struggle time for us, and we have to continue growing and moving forward, and we got the right kind of guys. You know, in the locker room, man. If you was in there, you'd see we got the right kind of guys, because they care, right? And so now we just have to help them to continue to build and grow and build the consistency we need, that we can put 2 halves together, okay? And we will get there.
This is back-to-back games now for David Castillo in the starting five. How do you kind of evaluate his play and his maturity?
Yeah, to become an older guy who's productive and who can get it done, you got to go through being a young guy who goes through some struggles, right? And the fact that even he didn't make a shot, it didn't stop him from shooting the next one, because he puts in a lot of work, and we try to teach our guys to trust their work. And he was one of the guys most hurt, and he was most hurt because he didn't feel like he performed at a level that he needed to perform at. And I just hugged him, told him I loved him, I believe in him, and we're gonna put him right back in that situation and expect him to do the same thing and just trust his work, shoot open shots. And so the last two games, has been great learning experience for him, but he won't ever become the veteran sophomore, the veteran junior, unless you give him these minutes right now.
Moby kind of in a similar spot to David. He has even less time. He has 5 rebounds tonight.
Yeah, well,
Building on that, don't you?
yeah, no, and he's the one. He said a couple times, "Hey, coach, I don't really understand what we're doing here. Maybe we should put somebody else, and because he's learning and he's growing. And the great thing about Moby is a junior college kid who gets his years back, right? Like, I mean, my man is a freshman, so and he's productive. So I'm fired up about that.
Anything else for Coach? Okay, thank you guys.